Hello all, welcome to Smart Prep Global. At the outset, I would like to thank you all for the tremendous amount of response that you have given for the Duo Lingo English test. Well, actually, the reason behind conducting this video session was that many people were asking us, is there any alternative for the IELTS examination that is being conducted for studying abroad purposes or working abroad purposes? So there's a good news coming your way that there is another test called as the Duo Lingo English test. So without wasting any extra time on that, let's take a deep dive into understanding all the relevant questions regarding the Duo Lingo English tests. Okay, so basically let's understand certain important facts that we should be knowing about the Duo Lingo test. Okay, as IELTS, this is also a measure of English language proficiency. The best part is that it has been designed for maximum accessibility. So basically it is delivered via internet without a testing center and is available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So basically you do not have to wait for your slot to be there. Second thing, we got so many number of inquiries from all over the parts of India stating that we do not have a test center at our place. Then how shall we go ahead? So ladies and gentlemen, Duo Lingo test is the answer to your question. So basically this means that you can give your this examination or this test at the comforts of your home. Now that sounds interesting, right? It takes less than an hour to complete the entire process of taking the exam. Being a computer adaptive test, it uses item types that provide maximal information about English language proficiency. No doubt it's a user-friendly test. Now let's see how is the Duo Lingo English test scored, or for that matter a comparison with the IELTS examination. So to be very precise and to be very simple with our approach, IELTS you give 4 different examinations. Like for example, it is reading, writing, listening and speaking. Over here in Duo Lingo test, all these parameters are conducted in one single paper. You do not have to give multiple number of papers over here in Duo Lingo English test. So the score comparison with IELTS is basically you get bands in IELTS, whereas for Duo Lingo it is the marks that you get. So basically if at all you're scoring 10, that means you're scoring 1.5 in the IELTS exam. If you're scoring 155 to 160, that means you're scoring a band of 9. So now this is like there are 7 different test types, or for that matter the question types that are being asked during the computer adaptive test. So basically the C test, there is a yes no vocabulary audio, yes no vocabulary visual, then there is a dictation, and then there is an elicited imitation. That is, you mean to say that you should be reading aloud kind of a test. Okay, now these 5 item types will be repeated 3 to 7 times with different questions with varying difficulty levels as per the test taker's ability. So basically this is a completely different type of a test that is as compared with your IELTS exam. Now say for example the 7 will be followed by the interview and writing sample section, which will not affect your score but will be available to the institution receiving your score. Now say for example you are being asked to talk on one of the given 2 topics for 1 to 3 minutes, or for that matter write on one of the 2 given topics for 3 to 5 minutes. So these are the kind of the questions that will be asked in your Duo Lingo tests. So there will be an extended writing, extended speaking as well. Now let's talk about the C test that is conducted for 3 minutes. I'll just go through this. Like, it provides a measure of the test taker's reading ability. So in this task, there is a paragraph in which the first and the last sentences are fully intact, while words in the intervening sentences are purposefully damaged by deleting the second half of the word. So basically, the test takers respond to the C test items by completing the damaged words in paragraph in 3 minutes. There is time display on the screen which counts the seconds in reverse order. So if you finish it before the time, you may click on the next to move ahead, or else the test will move ahead on itself when the time ends. So basically over here you will see that type the missing letters to complete the text below. This is the kind of a screen on your Duolingo test. Now there is a yes no vocabulary test. So basically it is a visual or a text one which should be completed in 1 minute. So the test taker is presented with a set of English words mixed with pseudo words. Pseudo means, to be very precise, false words that are designed to appear English like, however they are not. And one must be in a position to discriminate between such tests which have been used to assess them. So vocabulary knowledge at various CEFR levels and have been shown to predict language proficiency skills. The text version predicts listening. Reading and writing abilities. These tests typically show a large set of stimuli. For example, 60 words or 40 pseudo words which are of mixed difficulty levels. So this is the screenshot of a typical Duolingo test which you are finding it on your screen. So select the real English words in this list. Okay, so you will not say, so say for example there is something called as a sum there. So there is no such word called as a sum there. There is no such word called as a tooking. There is no such word called as ANSS. So this is the kind of an examination that you will be giving. So now there will be a yes no vocabulary test which is of audio manner, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Everything is the same as in the text version except that the test taker has to listen to the word by clicking on it and tick it if it is a real English word. Basically you can click the words more than one time. Okay, so the audio version predicts the listening and speaking abilities in particular. So this is how a typical screenshot of the Duolingo test looks like. Then comes the dictation. So in this exercise, a test taker listens to a spoken sentence or a short passage and then transcribes it using the computer keyboard. So the test takers have 1 minute in total to listen to and transcribe what they have heard. They can play the passage up to 3 times. Now this assesses the test taker's ability to recognize individual words and to hold them in memory long enough to accurately reproduce them. Both are critical for spoken language and understanding. So this is a typical screenshot wherein you will be clicking to play the audio. Then you have to type the statement that you hear. So you can see it on the screen very well. Now comes the elicited imitation, that is read aloud. Now the read aloud variation of the elicited imitation task is a measure of test takers' reading and speaking abilities. It requires the test takers to read, understand, and speak a sentence. Now the test takers respond to this task by using the computer's microphone to record themselves speaking a written sentence. The goal of this task is to evaluate intelligible speech production. So basically you just have to click on the record before the recording button. So you can see that there will be a record yourselves saying the statement below. Now here comes the extended speaking. The extended speaking tasks are measures of test taker English speaking abilities. At the end of the CAT portion of the test takers respond to 4 speaking prompts, 1 picture description task, and 3 independent speaking tasks with a written prompt and 1 with an oral prompt. The difficulty level of the test that the test takers receive is conditional on their estimated ability in the CAT portion of the test. All of these task types require the test taker to speak for an extended time period and to leverage different aspects of their organizational knowledge. For example, the grammar, vocabulary, sentence structure, etc. So you can see the three figures over here, wherein you need to describe aloud the image that is there. Okay. Now the extended speaking for figure number 2. Click on the record button before recording. 1. 20 seconds to read and 30 seconds to speak. Second will be 30 seconds to read and 90 seconds to speak. Now another, the extended speaking for figure number 3. Click on the record before recording and 30 seconds. Now that we are done with this, we are coming towards the extended writing part. The extended writing tasks are measures of the test takers' writing English abilities. Test takers actually respond to 4 writing prompts that require extended responses, 3 picture description tasks, and 1 independent task with a written prompt. So basically, similarly to the speaking tasks, these are drawn for different levels of difficulty conditional on the estimated ability level of the test taker. The independent tasks require takers to describe, recount, or make an argument. So these require the test takers to demonstrate more discursive knowledge of writing in addition to the language knowledge. So this is how you'll be in a position like write 1 or more sentences that describe the image. Now the second extended writing figure 2 will be for 5 minutes. Respond to the questions in at least 50 words, stating I do not live to eat, but eat to live. Now the ungraded section. Now these 7 will be followed by the interview and writing sample section, which will not affect your score, but will be available to the institution receiving your score. So you can talk on one of the given 2 topics for 1 to 3 minutes. Write on one of the 2 given topics for 3 to 5 minutes. Now let's come to basically the test requirements. Your passport, driver's license, or a government ID. A quiet, well-lit room wherein you are in a position to deliver the test. 60 minutes of free time, a reliable internet connection, and a computer. A computer must have a supported browser, a front-facing camera, a microphone, and a speaker. Now these are basically the test requirements. Now if at all you want to register for the Duo Lingo test, you can see the URL is there on your screen, that is www.englishtest.duolingo.com. I'm sorry. So register yourself with your email ID and password. Note them as you will need them to log in for practice tests and for your real test. You'll get 3 options. Practice test. You can click here and take a practice test as many number of times as you want without making any payment, but it will be the same test. First, you need to log in for the practice test. Then there will be a concept called as a buy now, wherein you make a payment here of rupees 3,500, which is equal to $49 to buy the test. No credentials required for buying. Start the test. This will be inactive till you pay the fees. Now after test fee payment, you'll get the same 3 options: practice test, buy the test, start the test. So in starting the test, you can start the test whenever you want, 24/7, in 90 days from the date of payment. So basically at this point of time, we always tell our students that unless and until you're done with all the mock examinations that are being provided by Smart Prep Global, do not register for the exam, because the countdown begins when you actually register for this exam. And as just a gentle reminder, you must have gone through the previous slides wherein there is no such thing called as we do not have the dates. So the dates are available for 365 days, 24/7. So you can actually prepare yourself properly for the examination. And thus onboarding, so the list of behaviors, okay, this is something that is really very important once you are actually giving your examination. Okay, so the list of behaviors that are prohibited during an administration of the Duolingo English test. It's interacting with anyone. So basically, in that room, when you are giving the test, you should not be interacting with anyone anyhow. Allowing other people in the room. So basically, you should be the only person in the room when you are giving the examination. Using of headphones or earbuds, disabling the microphone or camera, looking off the screen. So basically, you should be always looking at the screen. You cannot say, for example, I'm looking at the screen right now and I turn my head over here, I do some kind of interactions over here, and then I come back to my screen. Not allowed. Okay, then moving out of the frame of the camera, accessing any outside material or devices, or leaving the web browsers. Now, these browsers are locked down after onboarding, which means that any navigation away from the browser invalidates the test session. Additionally, all the browser plugins must also be disabled. So basically, this is your kind of a practice test result sample, wherein the practice test is complete. Estimated score is 120 to 140, and you can actually share your results on your Twitter, Facebook, email. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have touched upon all the important points of the Duolingo tests which are available at the Smart Prep Global. We take pride in being one of the most premier institutions in giving genuine, authentic coaching for the Duolingo tests which are available in the market. Okay, at the outset, I would really like to thank you for a patient hearing. All the best with your career. Thank you.